Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL landscape is always evolving, and right now, there's a ripple in the AFC East that has everyone buzzing, especially Bills fans. Rumors are swirling, and credible sources like Diana Rossini are pointing towards a major move involving the Bills' linebacker core. And trust me, this isn't just any rumor. It could reshape how Buffalo approaches the rest of the season and beyond. The Bills, currently sitting at an impressive 4-1 record, are looking to solidify their defense after losing Tremaine Edmunds in the offseason. And now, with the injury to Milano's pectoral muscle, the need for a top-tier linebacker has become even more urgent. In this context, the Bills are eyeing none other than Roquan Smith, the star linebacker from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Smith is a 3-time All-Pro, who was picked 8th overall back in 2018, and he's been a force since day one. Last season, he led the Ravens with 62 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 5 sacks over just 5 games before suffering a shoulder injury that limited him to 12 games in 2024. Despite that, his career stats are staggering: over 300 tackles, 22 sacks, 14 interceptions, and an overall PFF grade averaging around 89. 2, which puts him among the best at his position in the league. His ability to read plays, his coverage skills, and his relentless pursuit of the ball carrier make him an ideal fit for the Bills' defensive scheme, especially now that they're looking to add versatility and speed at linebacker. The proposed trade is reportedly quite attractive for both sides. The Bills are willing to send a second-round pick in 2025 and linebacker Dorian Williams, a promising young player who has shown flashes of brilliance this season. This move would also free up around $16 million in salary cap space for Baltimore, providing them some much-needed flexibility. Baltimore, on their end, is currently sitting at 3-2 and is facing some skepticism about their offensive line, which is allowing an average of 3 sacks per game on Lamar Jackson. That's a concern for the Ravens, especially with Jackson's contract talks heating up. They need to protect their franchise quarterback better if they want to make a deep playoff run. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Smith's stats are nothing short of elite. He's been dominant this season, with 62 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 5 sacks in just 5 games, and a PFF grade of 94, which is among the highest for linebackers in the league. His EPA per target is 19, indicating he's effective in coverage, and he's successful in 88% of his tackles. His career numbers are equally impressive: over 300 tackles, 22 sacks, 14 interceptions, and a positive EPA stop of +3.5, which shows he's a game changer. What makes him even more valuable is his ability to read the game, especially in zone coverage, allowing only 53% completion in his zone drops, and his durability, with no injuries in 2025 and only a shoulder injury in 2024 that limited him to 12 games. The Ravens, despite their solid defense, are allowing 19 points per game, which isn't terrible but isn't championship caliber either. Their defense is good, but they're looking to inject youth and speed into their linebacker core, especially with players like Trenton Simpson emerging as a potential starter. They're prioritizing cap space and youth, aiming to build for the future. The Bills, on the other hand, are in a unique position. They're about $2 million under the cap, and with the addition of Smith, they can elevate their linebacker unit significantly. After losing Milano to injury, their defense has still been impressive, allowing just 3 yards per carry without him, but adding a player like Smith would take their run defense and coverage to an entirely new level. So, what's the actual impact of bringing Roquan Smith into the Bills' defense? Well, first, it's about adding a tackle machine. Projections suggest he could rack up around 140 tackles this season, significantly reducing the Bills' rushing yards allowed per game, going from 135 yards down to about 100. That's a huge improvement, especially in an AFC where every yard matters. His presence would also boost the Bills' coverage efficiency, increasing it by around 19% based on his career win rate of 24%. Pairing him with Terrell Bernard creates a smart, cerebral linebacker duo, which is exactly what the Bills need to counter high-powered offenses. And if you look at what Fred Warner did for the 49ers in 2022, adding over 170 tackles for the team, Smith could have a similar impact, turning the Bills' middle defense into an impenetrable force. Furthermore, Smith's ability to force turnovers is a game-changer. His career average of 1.6 interceptions per game, projected for this season, could translate into crucial plays in the postseason, especially in tight games where every turnover can swing momentum. When you analyze his grades compared to other linebackers, he's about 1.8 grades higher than the Bills' current LBs, and he allows 12% less YAC, yards after catch, making him an even more effective defender in open space. For Josh Allen and the Bills' offense, having a linebacker who can reduce checkdown opportunities by 10% and improve third down stops by 9% means more scoring drives and fewer defensive holes. This move also has a psychological and strategic element. Roquan Smith, with his leadership and playmaking ability, would serve as a sideline general during the playoffs, boosting the entire defense's confidence and execution. His role would be akin to what Shazier did for the Steelers during their peak, and that kind of leadership can elevate a team's chances of reaching the Super Bowl. The betting odds reflect this potential shift, with FanDuel increasing the Bills' Super Bowl odds from plus 1,000 to plus 600 after the rumors gained traction. This isn't just about adding a player. It's about transforming the Bills' defense into a championship-caliber unit that can withstand the best defenses in the league. Now, let's not forget the ripple effect. While the Bills are acquiring Smith, the Ravens are retooling their linebacker core, focusing on youth and cap flexibility. They're looking at players like Trenton Simpson as part of their rebuild, emphasizing a future where they can still compete, but with a younger, more dynamic defense. The trade deadline on November 4th is looming, and it's clear that both teams see this as a pivotal move, one that could define their season and perhaps their franchise's trajectory. As fans, we're always looking ahead, imagining how these strategic moves will play out on the field. Will Smith's addition turn the Bills into an even more formidable force? Can this move push them over the edge to finally get that elusive Super Bowl victory? These questions are what keep us glued to our screens and our fantasy lineups. But one thing's certain. If this trade happens, it's going to make the AFC East even more exciting, and Bills fans should be ready for a thrilling ride. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think acquiring Roquan Smith will be the game changer the Bills need to finally make that deep playoff run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. Do you believe this trade will help Allen and the offense, or do you think there are still gaps to be filled? Remember, the season is still unfolding and every move counts. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. This is shaping up to be one of the most exciting seasons in recent memory, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Thanks for staying with us, and as always, go Bills.